Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to... hold on, give me a minute. Okay, so a client of mine just asked me, is property investment worth it in Singapore? Oh, that's a good one. Thank you for a great question. Let me try to answer within 10 minutes. Okay, in general, I think there are several factors at play. I classify them into three main factors: G, S, T. Let me explain. G stands for government. I guess we can all agree that one of the main reasons for the fluctuation of the property prices is proportionate to the stability of the political situation and capability of our leaders in the country. As such, ever since 1965, Singapore's government, I would say, has been more or less the same party throughout, and one whom regulates our lands and property in a fashion of solidity and putting the citizens in much considerations, with regulation that disallow developers to over-leverage, unlike certain countries, ensuring all, if not most of the people here, to have a shelter in Singapore. These controls and measures in place are like flying a kite, which help ensures us to stay afloat, which is why property prices in Singapore has been stable for the longest time, ever since more regulations are put in place to protect and support us as consumers, as well as the developers in a win-win-win situation. S stands for supply and demand. So while Singapore is a very teeny-weeny island in the Southeast Asia archipelago, it has one of the strongest economy and one of the most stable government in the world, which attracts a lot of investors all around the world to gather in a small island like ours to fight for a piece of pie on the plate. Thankfully, there are certain regulations in place to deter random foreigners from creating or collapsing a housing bubble, leaving only the rich, crazy Asians and truly rich Ang Mohs to have a foot in the pie. However, Singapore land is so scarce, which is why in the long run, supply may not be able to meet demand. I did a video last year and talked about why Singapore property is stable even in 2023. You can click here to find out more. This video is sponsored by Socius Living. Socius Living is a community living space built for millennials by millennials. In this crazy rental market, you wouldn't want to be risking it on a hit or miss experience. Here at Socius, you can be sure you'll be living among fun, friendly community of expats and locals. You get to meet all the other members from other houses at their events as well. This newest addition is Socius at Katong, a sprawling 6-room, 2,000 square feet heritage shop house with your own private rooftop. It's just been renovated, so everything is brand new. Smart air conditioning, bedrooms, living room, toilet, all furnitures, beddings, appliances. The house is centrally located at the heart of the historic Tanjong Katong district. It's just 17-minute door-to-door to CBD and is near various malls, East Coast Park, restaurants, cafes, bars, food court, Muay Thai gym, and all sorts of amenities. In fact, there is a food court and convenience store just downstairs. Oh, and Tanjong Katong MRT is coming up next year. If you want to live in a beautiful home where you can have your private and comfort, but have the option to get into the heart of the action, be it with our community or in the neighborhood, this might be just for you. So come live with Socius Living and join their vibrant community today. Now let's head back to the video. T stands for turnover. As investors, we want to see the percentage of the return on investment, the ROI for short, to determine whether it is worth investing in. But what most people do not know is that we don't actually pay for the full price of the property. How a property investment is calculated can be split into 3 parts, and I call it the ELF.
Hi, I'm Elfo.
E for equity, L for leverage, and F for fees. The equity being the value of the property less any loans, meaning to say it's the amount of money you put in and is getting back upon sales. So it's the down payment and the profit that you get upon sales. The leverage is the loan portion where we leverage on bank to purchase something beyond what we may afford in real life. So for example, I only have $1 million cash and I actually borrow another $1 million from the bank, and now I'm able to buy a $2 million condo. And the fees are the fees that we pay and are not getting back upon sales. So these are the true costs. So for example, if you are a local buying a brand new $2 million condo with an interest rate floor of 4% and a loan of 75% for 30 years, we have an equity of $500,000, a loan of $1.5 million, and the fees that adds up to $68,000. So after 3 years, upon reaching temporary occupation period, you can see that you would have paid an estimated amount of $691,000, and that's roughly 35% or slightly over 1/3 of the total $2 million. And these are the net payment you would have paid. In order to calculate the true ROI, you want to take the cost, which is the money you don't get back, which is the fees that we spoke of earlier, and in this case is the bank interest, the stamp duties, the legal fees, and divide by the profit. So commonly for new launches, profits ranges around 10% to 30% over 3 years. So let's say it's a good 15% mark of increment. You can see that the total cost of investment is about $156,000 and the net profit is around $300,000, which then brings your ROI to 193% over 3 years. So that's about 64% each year. Of course, not all projects can do well, so only invest with someone you can trust. So what do you think? Is property investment worth it in Singapore? Let me down in the comment below. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.
Society of Homes.